Hi guys, Jared here with Day Traders FX. I hope everyone's had a great week so far. We've had some really nice trades in the group, and we're going to talk about a couple of those. And the markets, although they've been kind of quiet and kind of choppy, have definitely still given us some very nice runs and some great pips. As you can see here, we're just about 45 minutes or so from the close. Pretty decent day for stocks overall. Looks like we'll close somewhere around 100 points on the Dow in the positive, 12 points or so on the S&P, and looks like oil is making a little bit of a comeback. It's back above 80, whereas it's been below 80 for the last several days. So kind of decent there. As far as news goes today, we had durable goods. This is a pretty big report. You can see that came out worse than expected. Looking for a 0.9%, we ended up with a 0.4%, so that's not too good. And so that kind of had a little effect on the market. Likewise, we saw pending home sales, which you can see that the real estate market numbers are going crazy lately. The previous number was negative 5.5%, looking for a meager 1.2, ended up with almost 6%. We've seen home sales reports this week going just crazy, blowing expectations out of the water. So that's really kind of, I think, helping kind of bolster the markets up a little bit. We have some New Zealand news coming out later on today, business confidence report, and then coming into the UK session, we have current account, a little bit of a mover, still messing with this EU summits. We're going to see how that goes. Italian auction, bond auction, that'll be important, and unemployment claims. So anyways, we've got a lot of stuff going on. Just a quick little look at the dollar index. We like to keep a little peek on this on the daily chart. And again, it's holding pretty well above that 82 support. Dipped down below just briefly, but it's right back up above again. So we're just kind of keeping our eye on that, making sure that we can get some movement going and get things going there. Euro dollar, nothing has triggered on the euro dollar for a couple of days. As you remember, yesterday we had in the live video we had the channels. So if the market opened above 125.25, we're looking to trade it up, 50-ish or so pips into this next resistance up here. We got none of that, and likewise we're looking for, as you can see, a little bit of an open, a break of this 124.40. Still nothing on that one. The euro is just totally channeled. We're 3 days into this channel now, which is okay because that means it's going to be some pretty good movement once it does break. But like I said, this 124.40 should be a nice little run back into that 12300. I think we're going to get something there, and above 125.25, I think there's some good movement to the upside to be had as well. But overall, the break of this 4-hour channel is holding very, very nicely. We've grabbed some very good pips on the way out of that, but it's been definitely choppy this week on the euro dollar. We grabbed, this was I think the last trade we took on the euro dollar pair, and then it's just been kind of bumping around since. So we're still looking at that same channel. Remember, 125.25 on the top and about 124.40 on the bottom. A breakout either side should give us some good opportunities. And again, on the upper side, I think I'm only going to be looking for as the ultimate target of kind of the immediate run would be about 125.80s. So we're looking at 50 to 60 pips from a break of this 125.25. So I think that's going to be a good area to watch. But I'm not going to trade anything until it gets out of that channel. It's got to get out of that channel before I get into anything. So I'm kind of waiting on that one. In other news, we have been absolutely killing this pound dollar. This thing's been going really well. We took a bit of a chance on this trade yesterday, and we ended up getting in hopes of a reversal holding, and we sold the pound dollar at 126.25, and you can see that it went against us just about 20 pips a couple of times, and then gave us a big payout on its way back down here as it broke this ascending trend line and made its way down. So we grabbed some nice pips on that. Including on the UK notes was 155.90 as a sell, break and sell opportunity. You can see that went well as well. So the pound dollar has actually been one of our best friends the last little while, really moving very, very nicely. And remember, we got in on this pin bar right here. We had this big crazy pin bar, so we got in a little bit above 50% retracement and just rode that thing right back down. But you can see that we have a nice channel right here. This thing is channeling very nicely, and it just came up to test the top. Or excuse me, the underside, I guess, of this 4-hour channel, and it's come off that very nicely, which is very, very good. So now our next leg of movement here is we've got some supports down here. You can see about 155.30 and kind of this 155.00 area. On the 4-hour chart, it's had a pretty difficult time trying to break below that. But that's currently about 155.50, and I think if we can start to make a break of that area, this should be a very nice run back down into some of these lower areas. You can see that definitely we've got lots of potential from this area to just there's just open territory all the way down there below that 155.50. So and a lot of these pairs are headed that way. The euro's doing the same thing. Pound's doing the same thing. So a nice little break of that should give us some very nice runs. Of course, I'm not going to try to hold on to it for 200 or 300 pips, but I think if we get a break of this 155.50, you can see some very nice consolidation here about 154.75. So there's a good 75 pips in this movement that should be able to go over the next several hours to day or two. So keep an eye on that. But likewise, that could turn out to be some very good support. There's nice support down at 50, 155.50, 155.40. So we're going to keep an eye on a bounce. And I think if this gets back up above 155.90, 15600, there could be some more potential to trade this up into some of these upper levels. But again, below that 155.50, I like taking this thing even lower. So just keep your eye on that. But again, these ranges, 15600 and above takes us back to 156.30 and 156.50, 155.50, 155.40 area takes us down to 154.75-ish, right in that general area. Okay, so same thing on the euro yen. This thing is the euro dollar has kind of just gotten very consolidated and hasn't set up for anything on us much lately. I'm looking for just a little break here. I think if we get a 99.60, just a daily high, we've had a hard time with that level the last little while. So a little 1 hour open above this, and I'll look for 20 to 25 pips. Nothing too major, just a short little easy nice run on this one, and I think we can get it. Otherwise, a very short-term run at the break of the daily low, 99.05. If we get a break of that, then I think we've got a good chance to take it down into that 98.70 area is about all I'm going to look for. This little daily channel I think will be good to watch. So again, 99.60 on the upside, 20 to 25 pips on the break up, 99.05-ish area, 20 to 25 pips on the way down. But I don't love those entries. What I'm really looking for is 98.65. If we get a break of 98.65, then I think we're in business for a big, nice run down, and that's really what I'm waiting for. On the upside, still 99.60 looks pretty good on the upside if we start to get some big movement here. But so far, this has come out of the channel and just stopped at support. So if this breaks some of these levels, we should start to pick up some very good momentum to the downside. But still watching that 99.60. We'll get above that, and we might get a couple of pips back up into that 100 area, 100.10, 20 area. So just keep an eye on that. But I'm really looking for the big break of 98.65. And last but not least, the Aussie dollar. This thing has made several attempts. Yesterday we talked about this, getting above and making a break, and it tried, and it dipped back down, and here it is back at that level again. So I kind of like this 1.007580 area as it's trying to make another attempt above this. I think we've got a couple of pips here. This is looking like a pretty nice little bottom out on the short term. So we get a nice little break here, and I think we might be good for a couple of pips to the upside. Again, I would just be targeting, shorter runs, 20 to 25 pips and so on. But I do kind of like this setup above this 100.75. I think if we, with some stops down here around the 50 to 55, looking for about a 20 pip stop, I think we've got 20 to 30 pips in profit up to these pivot points here. And so that's kind of what I'm looking for on the Aussie dollar. But it's been a little choppy lately, so we're going to be pretty careful. I do really like this trend line right here, and I think if we get back below this daily pivot around the 100.50, or excuse me, 1.0050 area, then I think we're going to be in business for a nice run down into that right into parity there. So watch that daily pivot, watch the 100 or the 100 point. Good grief, 1.0050 area, and we're going to look for that to kind of go. But for the moment, we're going to see if we can finally make a little bit of a break on this pair. and get some movement there. And then just remember, gold still hopping around, not really going much of anywhere. So we're keeping our eye on gold. We're going to see where this thing goes. But for the moment, it's just bumping around. Above 1585 important, and below about 1550 is important. So we'll keep an eye on that. Best of luck, guys. Congrats on some great pips so far this week, and we've got plenty more coming. So we'll see you in the chat with more updated trades and notes. Take care, everyone.